September 2022. A small hotel room. A single bed. A dim screen flickering in the dark. Inside, a teenager sits alone, his face illuminated by the glow of a TV. No expensive setup, no powerful machines, just a Fire Stick, a smartphone, and hotel Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, outside these walls, the street is quiet. But if you listen closely, you can hear them coming. A convoy of unmarked vehicles pulls up near the entrance. Officers step out, speaking in whispered voices. British cybercrime specialists, FBI agents. They've spent days looking for him, and tonight, they finally have him. 8:30 p.m. The team moves in, ready for action. They reach the door. Then, no answer. A few seconds pass before the door slams open. Armed officers rush in. Before the teenager can react, he's forced to the ground, cuffed. His devices are seized, bagged, and tagged within seconds. But he doesn't resist. It's almost as if he was expecting this. To officers, he's just some kid playing hacker. What they don't know is that just days ago, he had access to something that should have been impossible. And that impossible access led to one of the biggest leaks in gaming history. What's even crazier, this wasn't even his first time. But how did a teenager with no advanced setup bring $1 billion company to its knees? To answer that, we have to go back to where it all began. It started with a simple game, Minecraft. Like millions of kids, he was hooked. Late nights, endless hours, lost in digital worlds, exploring, crafting, and battling in PvP arenas. But for him, it wasn't just a game, it was war. And he was losing, over and over again. He wasn't the strongest, nor the fastest. No matter how hard he tried, victory always out of reach. So he found another way. If he couldn't win fairly, he'd rewrite the rules. He began searching for loopholes, exploits, ways to flip the game in his favor. At first, it was just small tricks, simple cheats to give himself an edge, but then took things further. He started learning how Minecraft servers worked, how data was transmitted, how security could be bypassed. At just 11 years old, a boy with autism living in the UK was about to take his first steps down a path that would lead to one of the biggest hacks in gaming history. His name was Arion Kurtaj. But back then, Arion wasn't thinking about hacking billion-dollar companies. He just wanted recognition. When he discovered a vulnerability in a popular Minecraft server, he didn't use it to destroy. Instead, he reached out to the developers, asking if they had a rewards program for reporting exploits. The response was a polite but firm no. A simple rejection, but this moment was the turning point. A kid with a talent for breaking systems realized one thing. If the rules wouldn't reward him, he'd rewrite them. And that's exactly what he did. He went deeper into underground forums, learning from others who had mastered the art of hacking. By 15, he had learned something that would change his life forever: SIM swapping and selling zero-day exploits. SIM swapping was a favorite tool of crypto hackers. High-value accounts, like bank accounts and crypto wallets, weren't just locked behind passwords. They also required phone number verification. Hackers found their way around this by gathering personal details about their targets, calling the victim's mobile carrier, and pretending to be them. With enough convincing, they could get the carrier to transfer the victim's phone number to a new SIM card, one that the hackers controlled. From there, breaking into accounts, wallets, and emails was child's play. But Arion didn't stop at just SIM swapping. He also discovered zero-day exploits, unknown security vulnerabilities in software or hardware. At just 15 years old, he was pulling data from leaked account databases, finding cryptocurrency holders, and using SIM swapping to drain their wallets. He also sold critical zero-day exploits in underground forums. The result was a fortune. By the time he was 16, he had already hacked his way to over 300 Bitcoin, worth an incredible $27 million. For a socially isolated teenager with autism, the internet had given him a level of power few could imagine. He had wealth, he had knowledge, and most importantly, he had control. And soon, that hunger for control would lead him to something even bigger. But Arion understood that hacking alone would only get him so far. He needed a team, and at just 16, he formed a hacker group, Infinity Recursion. It was a small team, mostly young hackers from Brazil, targeting smaller companies and websites. But they weren't making much of an impact. Their attacks were low profile, their earnings minimal, and soon frustration set in. Disagreements tore the group apart within months. From the ashes of Infinity Recursion, he handpicked a few loyal members and created something new, Lapsus. This time, the goal wasn't just hacking, it was fear. Arion understood that to make an impact, they had to be loud. Their first major move was taking down Brazil's Ministry of Health. Once inside, they didn't just deface the site, they wiped out access to basic health services and replaced it with a ransom page. The message was clear: pay up or 50 terabytes of stolen data goes public. It worked. News spread. The name Lapsus was out in the world. But one hit wasn't enough. They targeted Portugal's biggest media company, then a major Brazilian car rental service. The attacks were bold, but in a world where thousands of sites get hacked every day, they weren't enough. They needed something bigger, something unforgettable that would terrify governments and corporations. That's when Lapsus turned its attention to US and UK companies. Their first major international target was Okta, a massive cybersecurity firm. The irony was undeniable: hackers breaching a company designed to protect against cyber threats. Then they took it further, attacking British telecommunications giant BT Group and stealing massive amounts of user data. They demanded a $4 million ransom in exchange for the stolen information. At just 16 years old, Arion had made Lapsus one of the most feared hacker groups in the world. Determined to solidify his status, he made a critical mistake. He purchased Doxbin, an infamous website known for hosting leaked personal data, for $120,000. But Arion was not a businessman. Within 2 months, he had managed the site so poorly that KT bought it back from Arion for $24,000. Furious and humiliated, Arion retaliated. He hacked Doxbin, stole its databases, and leaked all its user data. But this reckless act backfired terribly. In response, the Doxbin community turned against him. They leaked his real identity, exposing every detail about his personal life, including photos of him with his family. Suddenly, Arion wasn't an anonymous hacker anymore. He was the focus of a global manhunt. With his identity exposed, law enforcement, rival hackers, and even criminals he had crossed were all after him. Eventually, the police caught up with him, but Arion had planned for this. His money trail was hard to trace. His digital footprint was almost non-existent. Out of the $27 million he had stolen, they could only prove he had $100,000. Legally, their hands were tied. So instead of prison, they gave him a 1-month ban from computers. Fresh out of custody, Arion didn't waste time. He was back at it, pulling off even bigger hacks. This time, he and Lapsus had their sights on Nvidia. They broke into the tech giant, stealing everything related to the then upcoming 3090 Ti. Production data, chipset details, confidential documents, millions of dollars worth of secrets. But they weren't stopping there. Next was Microsoft. They leaked 37 gigabytes of Microsoft's source code and systems. Then Samsung, another major hit. But strangely, despite all this chaos, real harm wasn't being done, at least not financially. It was a game of flexing power, proving that no one was truly safe. Lapsus had gotten too big. The FBI officially listed them among their most wanted cybercriminals. And that's when everything changed. March 24th, 2022. Arion and 6 Lapsus members were arrested again. By now, anytime a major hack hit the news, the police would drag Arion in, question him, then release him due to his age. But this time, it was different. The FBI was involved. They took Arion from his home and placed him in room 15 of a travel hotel. No internet, no devices, just 4 walls and constant surveillance. Meanwhile, the FBI dissected Lapsus's methods, expecting advanced hacking techniques. Instead, they found something shocking. Arion and his team weren't sophisticated hackers at all. They were just bribing employees at major companies, paying their way into systems. The FBI thought they had cracked the case. They thought it was over, but Arion wasn't done. He had one more job to do, one last hack that would make sure his name was never forgotten. One morning, he slipped out of the hotel unnoticed. He walked into a nearby store and bought 3 things: an Amazon Fire Stick, a wireless keyboard, and a mouse. It didn't look like much, but in the right hands, it was a powerful weapon. He returned to his room, turned the hotel TV into a makeshift computer, and connected to his hidden virtual machine. His target was Rockstar Games, a company with millions in security, a team of experts protecting their data. He crafted a simple email, pretending to be a Rockstar employee who had forgotten his password. Incredibly, someone fell for it. Just like that, Arion was inside Rockstar's system. The full GTA 5 source code, early GTA 6 development files, 90 test clips. He had everything, and he didn't keep it to himself. Under the name Teapot Uber Hacker, Arion dumped it all onto GTA forums. At first, some thought it was fake. One day and 9 hours later, Rockstar confirmed the worst. It was real. Rockstar panicked. The FBI got involved. Takedown notices were everywhere. But it was too late. The world had already seen it. The FBI stormed Travel Hotel, surrounding the building. They breached room 15, finding Arion sitting there, staring at the TV. This time, his age wouldn't save him. Lying on the ground, handcuffed, guns pointed at him. Arion had done it. He had leaked GTA 6 right under the FBI's nose. Arion always wanted to be a legend, and, in a way, he got exactly what he wanted. But his story didn't end with handcuffs. The evidence was undeniable. Fraud, hacking, blackmail, he was guilty on all counts. But instead of prison, the system had other plans. Due to his complex autism, he was sent to a high-security psychiatric hospital. As of today, he's still locked away. No one knows when or if he'll ever walk free. But here's what's terrifying. Before he vanished behind locked doors, he reportedly told the authorities, "One day, I'll be back, and what comes next will be even bigger." Is it just empty words, or a warning we should take seriously? Only time will tell.